burner machine is thoroughly caked in dust, but we made it. Background radiation currently right now is sitting at 0.21 sieverts per hour. I finally also learned how to use this thing. But here we are at Shoal Site. This is another nuclear test site out in the middle of Nevada. This one's actually pretty easy to get to. It's about an hour and 20 minutes from Reno, and it's about 30 minutes from the town of Fallon, which is off of US 50 and is easily traversable from either US 95 or I-80, the major interstate that runs across the country. But the Shoal Site, which is it's not as there's no real physical signs of it unless you know it's here. It's not like Faultless in my earlier video. There's no massive cratering anywhere, nothing like that. But because it was a much smaller device, if I remember, it was like, I'll get it for you in a second. But what's cool about this place is that, one, it's easy to get to, and two, there's some remnants of the test still here. So if you can see up there, I'll try and zoom in on the video once I start editing. There's a giant white board up there on the side of the hill. That is a shock board. At least that's what I'm calling it, because I don't know what the industry actually calls it. And from that board, off a giant metal spring, would have hung this ball. It would have gauged how much the earth shook and rose as the blast occurred. Now, the only thing up here, aside from a little dirt roundabout and frequent tire tracks, because the EPA and the Nevada Department of Environmental Protection has to come out here and take measurements, is just a plaque. So let's go read this plaque real quick. So, Project Shoal. A 12 kiloton nuclear device was detonated below the site on October 26, 1963. The nuclear test was conducted as a part of the Valley Uniform Program, sponsored jointly by the United States Department of Defense and the Atomic Energy Commission. The nuclear device was detonated in a granite formation at a depth of 1,211 feet. Access was through a horizontal drift that extended from a vertical shaft 1,000 feet west of this location. Objectives of the nuclear detonation were to provide data for detection studies and fundamental research in seismology within granite geological median and an active seismic area. Blah blah blah. No excavation, drilling, and or removal of materials is permitted between a level of plus 5,050 feet and plus 3,530 feet above mean sea level. And basically just don't take anything out of the site. So the Valley Uniform series of tests, which you might have remembered from the recent video I just put up, were all about after the limited test ban treaty that forbade any sort of testing in outer space, underwater, in an atmosphere. This was pushing all nuclear tests underground. So the United States asked the question, all right, we just have started conducting plowshare. How the fuck are we going to find out whether or not people are setting off nukes willy-nilly anywhere they want to? What if they put it off in an earthquake-prone area? And for those of you who do not know, my home state of Nevada is the third most seismically active state in the entire union. It's I can't remember the order, whether or not, but Nevada's the third, and then it's Alaska and California, which are the most seismically active. There's a lot of geothermal power out here, lots of well, not really volcanic activity, but there's a bunch of tectonic plates shifting. But if we set off an earthquake, I'm sorry I'm yelling, the wind is really bad today. We're experiencing gusts of up to 45 to almost at times 50 miles an hour. If we set this off in, say, an earthquake-prone area, how are we going to be able to tell the difference between a nuclear detonation and an earthquake? And that was the real purpose of this study. It was the first shot of the Valley Uniform project, and these tests went all over. They were done in Nevada. They were done at the Nevada test site. They were done in Alaska. They were done in Mississippi with the salmon and shit. The other name is slipping me right now. I'll add a caption in for the other site. But they went all over the United States, and it was a huge success. The problem is I don't have that data. I don't have the data which they recorded because it was all classified. And they used this to build their knowledge of underground nuclear detonations. So, the bore shaft was 1,000 feet west of this location. I'm gonna pull up my phone and try and orient the electronics to the fucking compass, because I didn't think to bring my compass today with me. And I'll go get my rifle and I'll go see if we can find anything out here. There are a few little metal bits here still. You really got to be careful for snakes out here. It's a nice hot day. But there are serial numbers on this. It says ICE UTD 1994, so either a date or something. There's still some traces of metal out here. There's some steel I-beam looking things here. They're all bent and torn up. But I will pull up this as soon as I can freaking find it. Alright, I'll cut to it when I get it. So I used the car's GPS because my phone is being fucking stupid. But west is this way right now. And considering there's a giant unnatural pile of dirt there, I'm gonna take a wild fucking guess and say that might be the point of entry for the bore shaft. So, because I don't trust nature out here very much, because the shit that lives in my state is fucking scary. We pull out the toolie. I'm kidding. But we get something to protect ourselves with, and then we head out. I might actually be able to drive up there, but even still, I'd like to take stock of the area. So right over here, we have, someone was four-wheeling out here. Yeah, someone definitely went up here with something. Just make sure we look where we're walking. Probably drive up there. Snake holes already. Someone was actually shooting out here. Yeah, got a couple of shell casings. Let's see if I can read it still. They might have been blanks. So this is near the Naval Training Range. Those look like 7.62 NATO blanks. Let's see if anything else is in here. For those of you that are wondering, Wasser 10 that I dolled up a bit. I did bring my anime girl mags out here. I'll show you them in a second. Definitely got to watch your step out here. I'm willing to bet that might actually be the shaft. Even still, it doesn't hurt to walk around a little bit. I still have my dosimeter ticking away. Someone was walking out here, their footprints. But you could feel the dust and the cakeness of the earth just cracking underneath your feet. Same Nevada rules apply. One of the big safety things about visiting our state and then walking out and about is just be mindful of your step. Nevada is just chock full of mine shafts and whatnot. Probably not so much out here, but enough to the point where you just got to be smart, use common sense and knowledge, and just be safe. But there's definitely some you can tell by the brush it was beaten down. You can drive out here. Yeah, hold on, what we got here? Yeah, we have wadding from 12 gauge slugs and buckshot. Take a look at our dosimeter, make sure we're safe. We're approaching household level, so not a big issue to come out here. I'm starting to regret not getting my sling in time rifle, but just when you walk out here, make sure you're always looking down and then look up to gauge where you're walking. You really got to be careful what's on the ground out here. I'm not scared of snakes, but I ain't gonna fuck with them. The way this bush is just broken down is it looks someone either four-wheeled through here, or it's either longer than that and they could have drove support trucks up through here. I mean, aside from the EP, yeah, people are still shooting. These are definitely 7.62 blanks. So the military's up here. We have some links from probably a 240 or M6, yeah, probably 240. Hold on, let me actually show you. Yeah, 7.62 links and 7.62 blanks, like suspended. Yeah, so the military's probably up here just doing training. Just be mindful. This isn't a part of the bombing range, but I don't know where their property boundaries lie. Alright, just trying to see which might be an easier or safer way to get up there. I'll cut back to it once I make my way up to the top. Thanks for tuning in today, by the way. All right, so we're back up to the top of the unnatural mound. I'm still finding more traces of the Navy being here. They're probably doing like security forces and shit. But I keep finding blank 7.62 and links for machine guns. So someone was training out here with a 240 at some point. There is a road that comes up to here. I could have driven, but I'm not seeing any signs of the bore shaft. I mean, it was a smaller weapon. It wouldn't have needed as much infrastructure to plant it. But this wasn't natural. This was built up. It doesn't match the actual material of the mound. It's not native to the area. There are old bits of metal out here, so I'm probably right in my estimate. So if I took a gander, this was most likely the bore shaft. It was built up to support something. Yeah, we have cow patties out here and everything. So let's keep walking around. I'm sorry I'm still yelling. It's still very windy. Let's keep walking around, see if we can't find any other traces of the Atomic Energy Commission and the military from that time. Still got to be very careful where you walk. What the fuck is this? I don't know, some sort of rubber piece of tubing. If there was a borehole out here, I'm willing to bet that they covered it up. I don't see any within range of the camera, but they do have those red boxes from the EPA out here to measure groundwater and other contaminants from the test. See, more piping. All right, this has been here a hot minute. I saw one coming up the side of the hill. This is probably other parts of it. Definitely a lot of hoof prints. I almost ran over some antelope coming up the road here. So they do migrate across here. For the record, my car is still over there, so we're not too far. But radiation hasn't kicked up that much. Yeah, there's some old Moore pieces of metal over here. Just watch where we walk. Starting to get a few more ticks from my dosimeter. Yeah, there's still traces of something being out here. There's a lot of rusted metal. Huge links right here. Like huge. I mean, that thing is fucking in there. So maybe this was more towards the side of the shot. Let me get a reading on the dosimeter. So we're still at 0.16 sieverts per hour. So household radiation. There's a concrete slab right there. Someone's riding a dirt bike through here. Just be careful where we walk. Can't overstress that enough. These are all open to the public, but use common sense. If you're a pussy hippie that doesn't believe in guns, it's not the place to be coming out to. You need something to protect yourself. So, we got one concrete slab here. And more of that piping. There's an older one right over there. Check that out in just a second. So, I mean, this can't be that old. It's too smooth. This couldn't have been done in the 60s. We'll have a look. If I can find a way up there, I don't have the vehicle today to get up there, but if I can find a way, we'll get up there. This shit's just cool. I mean, you gotta be a real nerd to be into my kind of. I would love to find. There's definitely a trail that goes up there. I'd love to be able to get to it. So let's go check this a little bit out. Ticks on the dosimeter. All right, so here we have something else. It might look like an excavator bucket, but it's not. This was a steel support structure of something. I mean, this just, it looks like they cut it away from whatever it was. All old steel. This was a firm piece of equipment, and it probably supported whatever was on that slab. I need to find some more images of the test being done itself. I have a small video clip I can use, but I don't know all the support infrastructure that was here for it. All right, here's a much older concrete slab. This one definitely looks much more aged than the other one. And we either have a cable or a piece of steel rod right over there. I'll go see that in a second. Man, I mean, it's very beautiful country out here, but you just gotta prepare to come out. If I can find a trail, maybe I'll try and go up to that board. Yeah, so here we have some rubber insulated cable that would have gone to take measurements or report to control station. Man, I need photos of the test site being set up. I can tell you where everything was. Alright, so I'm gonna head back to the car right now, and I'm gonna see if I can find some more trails that are smooth enough for the Dango to head up towards the shop board up there and see if we can't get to it. If it's too rough, then I'm just not gonna risk it. You really do need, because I did this once before, but I had a Ram Rebel and we took a other way up here and it was an extremely rough route. If you don't have like a off-road style Jeep or truck, take the grooved way in, but just stay on the main trails over here. They're very smooth. As long as you got all-wheel drive, or hell, you don't really need anything special. Just have a little bit of ground clearance and you'll be pretty okay. But I'm not gonna take any chances. Well, the Dango it's got its V8 and it has all-wheel drive. I'm not gonna take the clearance chances on it. So I'm just gonna be gentle with it and try not to fuck anything up. All right, I'll come back to you if we can get up there. Okay, so you come a little way from the plaque, which is just right there, about 500 feet, 1,000 feet. And we come to this. Now, it's not marked, so I don't trust the navigation compass. I really wish I had mine. But I mean, the sun sets in the west, and it's directly overhead now, so this is probably west. This, I'm willing to bet, is the actual bore shaft. It is locked. It's got a huge padlock on it. Yeah, fucking horseflies, goddammit. Sorry about that. Huge concrete slab. This was obviously built here a long ass time ago. So probably 1963. So when we come over to it, it has this little placard on it, which says HC4 NAV D88. So these are all longitude, latitude. This fucking horsefly. This is longitude and latitude. So east 5260.69 feet, NAD 83, Nevada West Zone feet, FT, then N147 42958.28E 2681857.50. So these are longitude and latitude, I'm willing to bet. So I'll go ahead and say with authority, this is the bore shaft for shoal. Let me get the dosimeter out because I turned it off. I put the AK anime mag in because weeb shit. All right, let's turn it on. So wait for the readings. Oh shit. So our threshold alarm went off, but it's dropping, so I think it's just panicking, but we are holding, yep, all right, so we just dropped below. No, we are at 0.31, now 0.28 sieverts per hour, but we're dropping fast again. So I think that was just this boot up thing. Back down to 0.24, holding at 0.24, 0.25, 0.24, and we're still holding at, yeah, we're holding right there. On the shaft itself, it is now down to 0.21. So we are well above, or just above household levels, and we're still dropping. So I will hold that earlier threshold alarm as to error of the device. But we're getting the same radiation reading here that we did at the faultless site. So it's not dangerous, it's safe to visit, but I mean, I wouldn't build my fucking house here. All right, so before we head back, I just want to point out, whenever you go to one of these sites, you're gonna see these. Now, you couldn't see them because the placard is just right over that rise. When you come up this road, there's a Y intersection if you want to come visit. Stay to the left of the Y intersection, you'll see the placard. If you come over here, you'll see this area is a lot more well groomed, and they have the boxes for groundwater and what have you to just test stuff. And just as before, I'm not fucking with that because they're spider webs. They're all locked down, and these bore down to the depth of the site, and they test for contamination, groundwater, what have you. And there's 3 right in this general area. So there's one here, there's one right over there, and there's another one right behind us. This is another very smooth road. So before we continue on, I'm gonna continue down just a little bit ways, and I'm gonna see just what's there. I'm not gonna do anything crazy, but we'll see what's up. Because, I mean, how can I document if I don't go a little ways? Okay, so I just blew my own idea out of the water. That probably wasn't the bore shaft because I have another one right over here. These probably also go down to the depth of the test. This one is also marked HC1 NAVD E5309.21 FT. So, and it goes on, it's the same gibberish. These are also probably going down to test for contamination. So I'm willing to bet that rise of discolored rock was where the shaft was. It is what it is. I mean, some sites are better protected than others, and since I have nobody out here and there's limited information available really outside just what you can find online of where everything was. So I mean, I come out and just try to document and try to just paint a picture for people. If someone has more info than me, then I shut up and I listen. All right, there's nothing wrong with being wrong, as long as you correct your mistakes. So I'm correcting my mistakes right now. These, I'll take an educated guess, since there's more than one now that I confirmed, go down and they just use it for measurements. But if I had to guess, that giant mound of dirt out there was probably where the site was. And you can sort of see where all the other trails go. This one's gonna get a lot rougher. I'm not gonna go down that, I can just see it. But this one is grooved. So the State Department, or not State Department, the EPA or whoever does it for Nevada comes out here and does this stuff. So we'll maybe explore a little more. If not, I'll probably just cut to me at the bar. Fuck me, the wind is getting dead. All right, so after spending time at the shoal site, if you need a place to relax, have a beer, get some food, come to the Midgate Bar restaurant. They'll treat you right. Everything's cheap. And by cheap, I don't mean terrible. It's actually amazing food. Everything's low priced. You're not gonna bust a budget. And it's just a beautiful ride. You're in some of the most beautiful parts of the country that exist here. So come on out here, see some history. This is Alice, signing off.